So I'm standing in front of the house of not one, but two literary legends, two for the price of one. We're in the neighborhood of Primrose Hill. It's a beautiful neighborhood in North London, very genteel, tranquil neighborhood. And this house has a very special significance because of who lived here. This is the house of W.B. Yeats. You can see the blue plaque behind me right there, who was a massive Irish poet. He was born in Ireland, in Dublin, but his parents moved to the UK, to London when he was very young, and he grew up in this house. This is his childhood home, and he became a massive poet. He wrote some incredible poetry, including a very famous poem called Sailing to Byzantium. Beautiful poem, which contains the immortal line in it, "This is no country for old men." That line was used later by Cormac McCarthy for his brilliant novel, which was adapted into the brilliant movie starring Javier Bardem. So W.B. Yeats, massive poet. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the 1920s. He was a really big deal, a very influential poet in Ireland. But that's not where the story of this house stops, because 50 years later, after W.B. Yeats had grown up in this house as a kid, another world-class poet moved in, and this time it was the poet Sylvia Plath, an American poet. She was born in Massachusetts, had developed a huge poetic work and following very early on, very precocious. And then she moved to the UK where she met the poet Ted Hughes. They got married, they had two kids, and they had this very tempestuous, volatile marriage. And there were all sorts of accusations that Ted Hughes, it was basically a horrible, patriarchal, macho bore, and that this really drove her away, and eventually they divorced. And after their divorce, when she had separated from Ted Hughes, Sylvia Plath moved into this house with her two kids. And this is where she wrote a new surge of poetry that late in life. However, the circumstances of being recently divorced, it was one of the coldest winters in British history in 1962. She was looking after two kids. She was really in great despair. And in the end, the tragedy is that she killed herself in this house. Ted Hughes was attacked as having caused this tragic event. And so in a way, this house is a house of two stories. The story of a beginning of a great poet, W.B. Yeats, and the story of an end of a great poet, Sylvia Plath. But somehow through this house, these two great poets are eternally connected.